Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is uh, Monday, October 28th, around 5 till 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So, looking back at Friday's session, right, we had our typical hang, hold, and flop. So, a little bit quicker on the ES, and the Dow is pretty much right after the initial bounce. It would just, tear down. For the NASDAQ and the ES, a little slower. You can see the ES was a little quicker, right? It kind of followed suit with the Dow, just almost identical pattern, but it stopped right in the middle of value. And then for the NASDAQ, right, it was sitting here holding above those single prints, and then in the early afternoon, it lost those and just went back down to that split distribution at 20,513. If we look at what that did to structure, right, we got some areas that we should probably keep our eye on. The 58.85 half split that it lost, the single prints for the ES, and the 20,603 quarter that it lost as well for the Nasdaq. And then we got some more single prints on the Russell and the Dow that we can watch. For today, there is nothing on the calendar for today. Keep in mind that the Europeans did move to daylight savings time on Saturday. That means the euro close will not be until 12:30 Eastern time today. So it'll be, we'll be sharing trades with them for 3 hours instead of 2 hours after the opening bell this morning. Looking at, the news for the week, I didn't put it in my, highlight for the week, but Jolts is tomorrow at 10. That's really the first of the news. And that has been something on and off that can really move the markets or just be a dud, right? So you have to be prepared that there can be something. The last few prints have been nothing. Um, then we're going to get into advanced GDP on Wednesday. We're going to get into core PCE on Thursday and non-farm payroll on Friday. But we have large cap techs coming out for the most of them this week. We have Google after the bell Tuesday. We have Meta and Microsoft after the bell on Wednesday, and we have Apple and Amazon after the bell on Thursday. Looking at positioning real quick. Uh, We closed on the Qs at 495.32. We're almost trading 500 now at 499.16. So we closed at 495. We're trading 500 right now. You can see that's a little bit of a lid for today. We're trading 499.16, so about 30, 40 points underneath there. And then we'll just have to see, what we can get above that. You can see we got some room up to 501 more than likely for today. Before things can get a little bit more difficult above that. And to the downside, you could, 495 would be where we close. And if we get underneath the settlement from last Friday, we could go down to 490 to 492. Looking at the SPYs closed at 579 on Friday, and then they're currently trading 582.45. So, right in the middle of this, and you can see that for the week, 585 is still your upside until proven otherwise. And to the downside, there's really not anything huge that you can mark your hat on. There's just like stair steps down potentially. And for today, that floor would be right around 575, 574. But that's probably not on really on the table as we would have to go down, you know, 70 ES handles basically to get into there. Looking at the cash closed at 58.08. We are up 34 points, so that would make it 58.42, so close to the 58.50. So you can see for today, that 58.50, so that'd be about 8 points above where we are right now. So keep in mind that 500 for the ES, or I'm sorry, the 500 level for the Qs, right, as potential resistance up to 501, and then for the cash market, this 58.50, and then we'll have to see what can happen after that. Looking at, this area where we've been, so we basically had a look below this recent consolidation and fail, in my opinion, last week, and that's how I went into Friday session. Then Friday, we come in and pretty much just come right back down to where we, to that settlement, right? So it was basically, excuse me, basically just, selling down in from the top of the range on a Friday, nothing, no big deal. Now we're backing and filling that area that was sold on Friday. And we'll see if they, want to sell it back down again today, or if they want to just take it up to the top of the range in a very frustrating narrow range once again. And that could be on the table for this morning unless we get a fast move that either pushes it up above, right, and then we can get a look above this and see if we can go this time or not. But again, with today, there's no catalyst. There's a lot of stuff on the deck for today. Uh, it doesn't mean that speculators, right, can't speculate that all that stuff is going to be pushing it up. Don't think that just because there's so much news pending, we can't get above there. But it's probably a 50-50 whether they take it up there or not. And until we cross over this look above, you have to assume that we're going to stay inside of it. Just let it play out and then see what happens after that. This 20,680 is right at the top of this balance area, right? And we're pretty much trading 660 right now with that overnight high at 76 half. Looking at the ES, that top of the range has been 59.18, and we're trading 58. 80 right now, so about 40 points up. And again, we got resistance within 8 points of where we are, basically. Looking at the overnight session, 27 and a half points. And if we look at, you know, all of this, and we can look at structure, right? The settlement was below the single prints. We're, holding above them. The settlement was below this split distribution at 20,600 basically, and we're holding above that. All this price action up here, and for the ES, so what we have looks like right now coming into the morning is a potential bear trap from Friday's session, right? So now we'll see if we got enough inventory to make this a bull trap. And so these markers that we have from Friday's session, I think are going to be key in the morning to let you know if something's going on or if it's just, a frustrating back and forth inside of value. So we're right at value area high for the NQ, the ES. We're between these two sets of signal prints right now for the Dow, and we're approaching value area high for the Russell. So this is, think of value as fair value, and right now we need to see if anyone wants to pay up over Friday's value or not. Otherwise, you'll probably get that rotation right back down towards the bottom of value. The problem is that you've got a shelf build up now above these levels. If these levels break, they're probably going to be resistance at least for 45 minutes or longer. What I would like to see is if they're not resistance after a break, I would like to see a look below and fail and then get back in. And then we'll have to watch the midpoint as to see if sellers come in and then to see if we just blast through the top. And the targets above, right, are going to be right at this 20,008 100 to 825. I think Jack had a target at 20,831 from last Friday. So that's right around in the middle of these signal prints, and just slightly above them would be, where that would take it. So let this let the market on open orders come out this morning, see what happens. Remember, there's no real news pending. And let's see if we can get above value in the previous day's high or not for the NQ. The NQ was relatively the strongest market last Friday. Uh, So we'll see if that continues to be the case or not. So it has been a little bit less volatile and a little bit stronger in price action, in my opinion. So we'll see if that continues. And it does have need to do some catching up uh, still to get the futures to get an all-time high. Although the index, the NDX, did make an all-time high on Friday. I hope this helps you. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens. But no real news until Jolts tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.